Bonjour, Sebbywebz. I was wondering when you would show up. I hope you have not made any plans for the night, because we have a situation on our hands. Remember our good friend, the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he has decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder! If the rumors are to be believed, he has claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Udon society. Mr. Many Faces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene, leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. The message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you will hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke, the Mistral Eye has been selling like Ponzi cakes. The only rub is that it has left me no time at all to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Sebbywebz? The hidden treasure of Uda, was it? If there's anyone who can shed some light on this, it is you-know-who. The Sun Silk Tapestries.
Well. If it ain't my favourite adventurer, my favourite Mithril Eye reporter along with him. Tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? Okay, I'll see. Much as I'd like to help out 2 of my best mates, I'm afraid you found old Wymon at a bloody loss. Although it's more than its fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our phantom friend could be, just about any of them. But I can tell you this much, though. Like, whatever the thief's got his eye on, it's got the Sultan Sworn to right dither. Can you fuck up? Can you get out of the fucking screen? Whatever the thief's got his eye on, it's got the Sultan Sworn in the right dither. Word has it, they formed a regiment of their best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults from this very bloody threat. Now, the Sultan Sworns, they're not likely to be forthcoming with this information, but it's the only leader we got. So come on, Sebby. I say it's time we pay a visit to the Art of the Swarm. Wait a minute, hold up there, Ellie. Hold up there. I ain't generally the worrying type, but you might want to think twice before getting yourself involved in this. A man in my business, we develop a bit of a nose for danger, and this time the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that, but don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying to play the hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you I am ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is about more than selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, Sebby, time is of the essence.
Stop right there, criminal scum. Only authorized personnel are allowed in... Oh! Well, fuck me in the penis. It's the Gentleman of Light's adventuring companion and that catty but cute reporter from the bloody Mithril Eye.
Bonjour, if it isn't the self-styled Warrior of Light. Tell me, what tales did you spin to the Sultan Sworn recruiter to land yourself in this position?
Oh gosh, only the 12's honest truth, missed. Seeing that Gentleman of Light standing tall and triumphant that day, it bloody moved me to the depths of my soul. I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm just like my hero, Master Bloody Hildibrand. The Sultan Sworn were impressed with my commitment, my sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their bloody ranks. And wait a minute, don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildibrand in his bloody investigation, haven't you? Why the fuck didn't you say so sooner, cunt? That's the least I could do to help the mates who united me with my role model. You'll be wanting to speak with Phyllis. She's one of the Sworn's best, something of a history buff it would seem. When she's learned the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Briardien, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has the trust you're looking for, it'll be her. Wait here while I get her. I can trust you not to touch anything, right? Especially not my penis.
Bonjour, Phyllis. My name is Ellie from the Mistral Eye. As you may have heard, we are researching the Phantom Thief case. We would appreciate any information that may shed light on recent events. Oh gosh, the pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie. And if I'm not mistaken, that would make your companion friend here, Sebbywebz TV?
Si, senor.
You know Sebby?
Well, as any reader of the Mithril Eye would, I must confess to being somewhat of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly befits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist in the investigation. Doubtless the Inspector, too, will also welcome a helping hand.
I say, the Sultan's sworn, the elite of Uldar's elite.
I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries that I've dealt with so far.
Inspector Briardien, always one step ahead of us.
Miss Ellie, Sebby, a moment, if you would. Right there. Very good. Now face me, and don't move an inch.
Inspector, what is that in your... Le cough!
Demasking dust, a formula of my own devising that will allow us to see right through the thief's disguises. Analyzing the mask left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counteragent that would dissolve the disguise while leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear that the two of you are indeed who you appear to be.
Brilliant, Inspector! The Phantom Thief has pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time.
Oh, gosh, I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan's Sworn at our disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply.
I see. Well, I suppose it is better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Uldar, the last of the 4 lost relics of Beladir?
Oh gosh, I fear not. I've pored through the histories time and time again, but the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors of light shall descend in the righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe 4 sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these 4 Beladian heroes, but that makes no mention as to their appearance or their nature.
3 times we have tried to identify the thief's target. 3 times he has foiled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the fiend's strengths.
All artifacts of Beladian origin have been sealed away within the Royal Vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I have furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dust, and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages.
The Black Guard will be in chains before he can lay a hand on the vault doors, let alone the treasure within. You have our word, milady. And now I'm gonna walk away. Goodbye.
Well, that was rather awkward. Anyway, but there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard of the recent rash of murders perpetrated by our quarry. The Sultan's Sworn have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we have been far too occupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We will be most grateful for any assistance that you could offer.
A lady asks, and a gentleman answers. Cast all worry from your heart, my lady, for I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the demasking dust that is the talk of the palace. Ah, but you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly whom I claim to be. Oh, God. Oh, it's everywhere. Oh.
A shame, that. Oh,
Gosh, Inspector Hildibrand. We weren't expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I shall share all I know about the recent murders. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far. The head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that, well, that they were all influential figures in their respective circles, we can identify no common threads connecting the 3.
Oh, well, this will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what of the method of killing? Conked over the head with a cudgel? Gutted with a greatsword? Strangled with a subligar?
I'm afraid that we've identified no pattern at all. In any event, the murderer plots the deaths of 2 more even as we speak. Oh gosh, we must take action, and quickly.
Understood, my lady. Clues might be scarce, but worry not. My realm-renowned powers of deduction are more than up to the task. I will see this burglar turned butcher delivered to justice.
Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildibrand. Friends, please take this demasking dust with you. I fear that we can spare but a single sachet, and I trust you will put it to good use.
Come to accompany me on yet another case, friend? I like your gusto. But if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role has already been filled. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Sebby, my ever-loyal associate. And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. My question about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 sins of Sasimo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues. Clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let's be off. Pray, alert me should you see anyone suspicious, my ever-loyal associate. We must put Miss Phyllis's demasking dust to good use. Flowers? Yes, it's all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares. And what do you think you're doing? Eh? I'm the one who put those flowers there to honor the memory of my poor boy. And you dare defile his memory? 1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire. I swear to you, on my own dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. Ahem. As I was saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean...
Leave this place. Run while you still can. Run! Far, far away! Run, or he'll turn you into a zombie, just like he did my poor boy. A living person turned into a zombie? Nonsense. No, not nonsense, my boy. History. Or have you not heard of the horrors of Sildir? Aye, our sibling nation, against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, but I speak of far greater horrors than death. An unholy draught brewed by a Sildin alchemist, one with the power to turn the living to the undead, that his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers. The traitors spurn! They turned my boy into a heap of rotting flesh and ran him through. But he won't hear that from the Sultan's sworn. Thal alone knows why, but they whisked the body away before I could do so much as pay my last respects. The traitors spurn! I had heard these stories, but I had never thought them true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing, just who are we dealing with here? Sildin, I'm sure of it.
Aye, only a Sildin would know the recipe. But the last remains of the Sildins died 4 centuries ago, you say? They did! They did! He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But did it ever occur to you that he might be an honest-to-God's phantom? Eh? Heard the tales from my own great-grandma, I did, about the 4 relics of Briardien and the powers that they hold. The power to exact justice. A spectre of Sildin has returned to wreak vengeance on us. Woe! Woe unto us all! Have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us? My dear boy, if only you'd become a trader like your father. If only you'd get your nose out of those history books and never so much breathe the accursed name of Sildar. But you did! And I did!
It's all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless deduction. Ahem. Our Phantom Thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and the dead for nigh on centuries since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul, that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of this specter's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search on the Thaumaturge's Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations.
Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything that has come out of your mouth, some knowledge of the Sildar might serve us well. Go, research as you will, and do take as much time as you need.
You can count on me, Inspector Briardien. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned from the guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye.
To understand the history of sibling nations, one must go back further still to the birth of their mother nation in Briardien. The 5th astral era was an age of untold wonders, when the arcane arts burgeoned and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. This age of enlightenment would not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated in the War of the Magi, which brought the great floods of the 6th Umbral Calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left a battered wasteland in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused this catastrophe, with many forced to leave their homelands or face death. It was a small band of those survivors who found their way to Thanalan, where they would found the nation of Briardien some 8 centuries ago. Imagine that. A government of mages, by mages, for the mages. What wonders might have been wrought had Briardian civilization survived to this very day. Alas, this was not to be.
Greetings, traveler. You would learn of the war between Ul'dah and the fallen Sultanate of Sildar? It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The 2 city-states coexisted for several generations until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating in an outright war. As you might deduce from the present state of affairs, Ul'dah emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smoldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Ul'dah's superior numbers, Sildar alchemists devised a most horrific stratagem. Employing a frightful formula known as Traitor's Spurn, they brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Some theories have it they even employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak or wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine just thinking about it.
It is truly a crowning glory that our fair nation of forebears were able to emerge victorious against these horrors.
You don't say. It's not every day that someone comes to our halls to research Sildir. As a fellow student of history, though, I more than welcome the conversation. Briardien civilization flourished in relative peace until twin sons were born to the royal family. The two were fierce rivals. When they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. With neither son willing to relinquish his claim, they agreed to split their kingdom in two, forming the twin nations of Uldar and Sildir. But not unlike the two proud princes, the sibling nations developed a penchant for rivalry.
Hello. Greetings, stranger. What's that you say? You seek knowledge of the bad blood between Uldar and Sildir. I suppose I can spare a moment or two, but take good notes. I'm not fond of repeating myself. 2 scales, one of gold and one of silver. The gold of Uldar, weighing prosperity and power. The silver of Sildir, weighing knowledge and power. But the power sought by the two nations differed greatly. Greatly indeed. The power wrought by Uldar prosperity was that of justice and good, but the power wrought by Sildir knowledge was horrific beyond belief. The power to rip the living soul out of a man and render him a mindless killing machine. On this matter, the histories are clear. But riddle me this, Batman. Who writes the histories? And what does this say of the words writ within? Yes, truth can be elusive and as fickle as the shifting sands. As one example, did you know that in the war against Sildir, Uldar and Amalja warriors fought side by side? Likely you did not. Neither did I, until I encountered a faded passage in an ancient text buried deep beneath Tristram. And yet, in the histories read by the populace, you will see no mention of this most fascinating fact. Might it be that someone, at some time, deemed this particular truth less than convenient? But regrettably, I've said enough already. Stay a while and listen. My ever-loyal associate, tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the scholars in these halls? Indeed. As it happens, I have learned much the same. Let us take a moment to review and allow my peerless powers of deduction to work their magic. A war of succession divides the great civilization of Briardien, giving rise to the sibling nations of Uldar and Sildir. 2 nations coexist for some generations until ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war. Daunted by Uldar's superior military might, Sildir employs their advanced alchemical knowledge to horrific ends, transforming their own citizens, alive and dead, into a fearsome undead legion. Yes, I believe I have it. The facts at hand have led me to one unassailable conclusion. Our Phantom Thief is a descendant of the doomed Sildir who seeks vengeance against those who reduced his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully to the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sildiran statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering that he has wrought.
A brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go find yourself a shovel and dig this statesman out of the grave yourself. Leaving aside this nonsense of spirits and spectres, it appears increasingly likely that our quarry shares some link to Sildir. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of the fallen Sultanate. This Sildian connection would also likely explain the rare knowledge of Briardien relics that our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common thread amongst them could have incurred the ire of our adversary?
A few people in town spoke of a man sighted calling upon the victims in the past days. Those who saw him said he had a most frightened air about him.
Wait. Yes, it's coming to me. Of course, my keen investigator's senses ring out with a voice loud and clear. This man that Miss Ellie speaks of just might know something.
You really should stop thinking so hard. You're likely to strain a brain muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man and where might we find him?
My source identifies the man as Goguria, a traveling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Should we pay him a visit?
Yes, we should.
Well, how to do to there? I do declare, if you have business in these yonder parts, make it quick. My time is too valuable to waste chatting with every stranger who doth pass by in yonder these here parts.
Forgive us, good sir. My name is Ellie, a reporter with the Mystery Eye. Never blinking, all-seeing. You know the rest. I was wondering if we could trouble you with a few questions.
Was it for love or money that you killed them? Yes, you, the thief of many faces.
Me? A thief? I do declare, what is this nonsense? I don't know who you are, but I do not have the time or the patience for this mummery. Now, if you'll excuse me, an important client doth await me down in yonder doodle-dotty here.
I thought I recognized that voice. Lady Durilda, well met indeed. Pray, tell, whatever brings you to these environs on this fair evening? I bloody live here, you bloody ice junkie. Oh, Inspector Briardien. Oh my god, what an unexpected pleasure. Do you have some business with my associate here, pray tell? Guga Rugia, we can discuss business after. Pray, lend the inspector here, the handsome one, whatever assistance he requires.
But I do declare, Lady Durilda, what about...
Oh my god, my dear Maria's name day present. I had it in mind, one of the prize pieces from Ishtame's latest seasonal collection. You would be able to procure one for me, yes? Or shall I eliminate the middleman and make the trip to Uldar myself? I'll say it once more, Gugarigama. I expect you to give the inspector and his companions your full assistance. They, yes, even the stupid one, help me regain something truly priceless. Something more valuable than any mere trinket. See you later, you bogans. Goodbye.
Well, all right. I'll tell you what I know, but you did not hear this from me. Do you understand? I was looking into killing on behalf of a client of mine. The thief's got himself into some of that zombie dust. The traitor's spawn, was it? And his cards speak of 5 victims. It got me to thinking, so dear, 5 victims, the Arbiters of Truth. The Arbiters of Truth? I'm not familiar with that name. Ah, and a few would be, on account of them being somewhat of a secret society and all. I'm sorry, I do declare that was very ungentlemanly. Influential personages of the Sultanate, you see, working from the shadows to keep a false knowledge about the Udir-Sildir conflict from reaching the ears of the folks like you and me down at yonder duty here.
False knowledge? Pray tell, just what sort of knowledge might that be?
1,000 balls! Don't make me say no more. I got a family to feed yonder here. Very well. Just tell us one last thing. Who hired you, and where can we find him? Ahab. His name Ahab. When he heard what I said, he told me that he was going to set sail for Limsa with his 5 best sellswords to guard his back. Said there were many prying eyes at the airship docks. Said he had a private ship docked and waiting for him at a Vesper Bay. But remember, You did not hear none of this from me, down to you to hear. This man Hob must be one of the killer's targets. Doubtless he also knows the identity of the remaining one. Well, I doubt that. They say the Arbiters are so secretive, they don't even know each other's true identities. Now, don't ask me how all that works, however, but Hob has got a high-ranking friends in the Brass Blades. Once he heard the victims have all been zombified, he panicked. Guess he knew that he would be next.
Thank you very much again, my kind sir. Once again, the ancient Manderville art of parley has procured for us a key morsel of knowledge. Let us seek out this Hob fellow and see what he can share with us. And let us hurry. The man's life is in danger even as we speak.
Master Hob, is everything quite all right? No, stand back, Ellie! Hunger. I hunger for your brains! Oh, shit. There's no saving the man. Sebby, do what you must.
Yes, my first-hand knowledge of zombies tells me that this particular shade of green is unmistakably that of the undead. 'Twould seem that we were a few moments too late for the scene.
A message, and then there was none.
There it is. Again.
What's that? Something the matter, Inspector?
Indeed, Nashu, there is. Ever since I picked up the trail of the Phantom Thief, I've had this fleeting sense that someone or something is watching us.
The thief might be close at hand. We should be careful. For the moment, let us return and report our findings to Miss Phyllis. A secret society or no, returning the identities of its members may yet lead us to its final victim. I, too, had best return to the Miss Relay. Let us meet up again. I will see what clues I can uncover in the meantime. You will do nothing of the sort, Miss Ellie. These streets are far too dangerous for you to walk alone. Hey, Inspector! I'll go with her. I'm walking here.
If you insist, Nashu, then I give my leave. But pray, be wary, not just of the thief, but of Miss Ellie. She has quite the temper, as we both know.
Well, fuck you!
My point has been proven.
I say, Miss Ellie, there is something I must tell you when this case is over. Be safe, and promise me you will not attempt anything rash, as you did that time when the fiend took aim at my own life. Your life, Inspector? Ah, oui, Costa del Sol. Yes, that was quite the ordeal, was it not? I'll be careful, I promise. I eagerly await the day when I may hear what it is that you would share with me.
A secret vow? Oh-ho! Consider my interest piqued as well, good Inspector. Now, let us be off. Miss Phyllis awaits our report.
A fourth victim? Thal have mercy! Were you able to glean aught of a connection to the other victims? The Arbiters of Truth? Oh no, it can't be!
Somebody! Help!
Miss Ellie! Oh gosh, the voice came from the direction of the vault. We must hurry!
Miss Ellie, I say, are you hurt? That man, I sought only to ask him a few questions, but before I knew what was happening, he was upon me. I could only...
Bash his brains with a conveniently placed bottle of mead, it would seem. Aha! Remind me not to get on your bad side, Miss Ellie. That said, Is Nashu not with you?
She saw a figure lurking in the shadows. She went off in pursuit before I could stop her.
This man wears the armor of a Sultan Sworn squire, yet his face is unfamiliar to me. Something is amiss. The thief of many faces! To think we would find our man like this.
Thrice and again did the fiend elude our grasp, but no more. By virtue of a gentleman's ingenious deductions and a lady's pugilistic puissance, I declare this case closed. I return this sachet to you, Miss Phyllis. While the gesture was appreciated, in the end it proved superfluous to my cracking of the case. Oh, shit.
While you're at it, is there anything else of immense value that you'd like to wantonly destroy? Nani?
What is the meaning of this?
Ingenious. A double disguise. Planted by the thief to throw us off his trail, no doubt.
This is Gyugi, one of my most capable men. I assigned him to guard the vault and outfitted him with an ample supply of demasking dust. It is inconceivable that the thief could so easily elude his grasp.
Thinking noises. Unless the thief was not wearing a mask. Speaking of which, has anyone seen Miss Ellie?
No. That's impossible.
Of course, it all makes perfect sense. With a phantom thief to thank for her burgeoning readership and rise through the ranks of the Mithril Eye, Miss Ellie could not bear to face the possibility of her story of a lifetime coming to an end. Thus, she hatched a plan to... Oh gosh, my lady! The bloody vault has been breached! The wise man's bloody whisper, it's gone!
For her foul crimes against the Sultanate, I hereby declare Ellie of the Mithril Eye, the thief of many faces, an enemy of the state. Deploy all troops and do not rest until she is in custody.
And now the game is truly afoot. Oh! What is the meaning of this racket and the rumpusaroo? And just as we are about to make our triumphant return, isn't that so, Enkidu? Peacock!
Miss Ellie! Hey, Miss Ellie! Hey, you know that shadow you said you saw? I think it was just a doy mouse. Oh, shit. Well, to think he'd literally stumble face first onto the second mask. His good fortune truly knows no end. But not to worry. Yeah, I dare say the Phantom Thief has another trick or two up his sleeve. Looks like I'm the one who's walking here.
My ever-loyal associate. We must find Miss Ellie, and quickly. Surely, if confronted by her constant companions, she can still be convinced to abandon this fool plan. Oh, Miss Phyllis, I thought you'd already departed in the company of your men. But all for the better. Shall we conduct the search together?
I fear that would only put them at a greater risk. You see, the fifth and final member of the Arbiters of Truth, the Phantom Thief's final target, is none other than...
Hildibrand Manderville.
Me! Mind you, it's not a role I sought of my own accord. My name and my passion for history are somewhat well known in the Sultanate. One day, I received an anonymous letter stating that a position in the committee had been opened and I had been chosen to fill it. The letter went on to enumerate my duties, to prevent the spread of historical lies that would sully the name of our illustrious nation. As a high-ranking officer in the Sultan's Sworn, I was deemed to be in a particularly unique position to serve as an arbiter. I knew that there were other members of the organization, but was told nothing of their names or identities. To think that my unknown compatriots were the victims all along. I cannot put any more lives in danger. I will sequester myself in a place where my presence can cause no harm, until such a time as the killer is apprehended.
Your concern for our well-being is most touching, Miss Phyllis, but there is no need for such caution. As a seasoned inspector, I am more than capable of protecting a lady in distress, and as a gentleman, that is exactly what I intend to do. My associates here also stand by your side. Speaking of which, has anyone seen my loyal assistant?
Hey, Inspector! Over here, I'm walking here.
Ah, there you are, Nashu. You really should not run off on your own like that. I was worried sick about you.
Hey, I'm sorry, Inspector. Miss Ellie said she saw someone in the shadows, so I went to take a look. Now, there wasn't anything there but a toy mouse, but it was a really cute toy mouse, you see? It just kept squeaking and scurrying away, and I just... meow.
Pardon me for a moment, Nashu. Yes, my inspector's sense speaks to me. Someone is watching us. Sebby, let us split up and canvass our surroundings.
Si, senor.
A water-stained letter lies conspicuously on the floor.
Be wary. Be warned.
A water-stained letter, you already know.
Trust no one. Trust your friends all the less.
Blah, 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 blah.
This will avail you well. Use it wisely.
You obtain a sachet of demasking dust. In the next instant, you feel an intimidating presence behind you.
Whoa! If it ain't my beloved son's staunch companion, the mighty Sebbywebz TV. I was in the area on a matter of personal business, which I curtailed when I felt a suspicious presence from the shadows. Pursuing it led me here. Perhaps it's the same for you? Oh, so your pursuit of the many-faced thief has taken quite an unexpected turn. And now you've come across a series of anonymous letters. Perhaps our watcher in the shadows is a friend. Or is this but another trap laid by the fiend? Oh yes, the plot thickens like a cup of coffee in the big time. In either event, I dare say the circumstances call for utmost caution. The thief could be anywhere, or anyone. Myself excluded, of course. No mere mask could replicate the physique of this Manderville Marn. That said, I fear my dear Hildy might be in a bit over his head this time. Allow me to assist in your investigation. Were anything to happen to Hildibrand, his dear mother would, not be pleased. If the sender speaks true, then the villain even now lurks within our midst. And yet, we have but a single sachet of cocaine at our disposal. We must identify the imposter before reasonable doubt before we proceed. You know the players better than I, Sebby. What say you have a few words with each of them? See if something seems amiss.
Miss Ellie is the Phantom Thief. It's the only logical conclusion. And yet, I cannot help but feel that another truth still evades us. Am I doomed to share the same fate as the others? Oh gosh, I'd sooner die than become one of those things. So, Inspector Briardien told me all about it. Who'd have thunk Miss Ellie was the Phantom Thief all along? She sure fooled me.
Nothing particularly odd about any of them, you say? Well, that stands to reason. The fiend would not take such a risk if he weren't utterly confident that he could pull off the ruse.
Coises, this one ain't half the fool that his son is. I must elude him, and quickly. Time is of the essence.
I questioned the Sultan Sworn outside. To a man, they insist that they have seen naught of Miss Ellie. Wherever could she have gone? Egads! Father! What brings you here? Cup of coffee.
I say, finally the pieces are coming together. Now, if you would kindly stand still and shut up. The fiend already stands among us.
Among Us? Wasn't that a popular game last year? I mean, Inspector Briardien! I should hope that you are not doubting me.
While I'm quite convinced that even a master impersonator would struggle to recreate your particular brand of idiocy, the fact remains that anyone here who has spent even a moment alone must be considered a suspect. The thief has proven to be highly efficient at assuming new identities.
An astute observation, my gangly friend. I'd say this occasion calls for a dose or two of that powder that Sebby found here earlier. There wouldn't happen to be another sachet or two lying about, would there?
What remains of our supply has already been distributed to the search party. But worry not. They should be reporting back within a bell's time. Here. Time might be against me, but just you watch. I'll wiggle my way out of this and turn you into the reeking, drooling corpse you deserve to be.
I fear that is more time than we can afford, Miss Phyllis. Fortunately, my powers of deduction will lay the fiend's face bare within minutes. We know that, given the choice, the thief prefers to impersonate familiar personages. As Miss Ellie has had only passing interactions with my dear father, we can safely eliminate him from consideration. That leaves myself, Nashu, and Sebby here. Nashu and I, in particular, have had a close and extended relationship with our suspect. I shall begin by questioning mine own assistant. I assure you that none know her better than I.
Brilliant reasoning as ever, Inspector. Go on, ask me anything. Have all the times for this overstuffed buffoon to start talking sense. If he asks me anything too obscure, my cover is as good as blown.
My relationship with Nashu is so close that I dare say it is at times like we share a similar mind. If this Nashu is truly my ever-loyal assistant, she should have no trouble completing my thoughts. Ahem. I'm a Manderville.
Man!
Good. Doing what only a Manderville
Can!
From the peaks of Corthus to Thanalan, Manderville.
Man! You're the best, Inspector!
A perfect score! You may rest easy, dear friends. This is unmistakably, unequivocally, indubitably the true Nashu.
I never loved you more than now, you marvelous asshole.
Nashu, is something the matter? Just because you've picked up a few more wrinkles beneath the eyes, there is no need to avert that charming face of yours.
Wrinkles? Wrinkles? Hey, look who's talking! You crusty, cretinous old...
Genius Inspector?
I'll be right back. I gotta change my shirt. I just spilled beer on it. I'm not having that for the recording. I'm sorry!
The charade is up, Miss Ellie. Si, senor.
Nani! Miss Ellie, you look somehow different?
Seven L's, done in by a muscle-bound muttonhead and his motley troop of mummers. Just who are you? Your resemblance to Miss Ellie is most uncanny, and yet... Consulting Inspector Briardien. Once again, you fail to measure up to your lofty reputation. Of course we resemble each other. Ellie is, after all, me own flesh and blood. My beloved sister, and my eminently capable partner in crime. 1,000 faces I might wear, but only one name do I bear. You can call me Jane Snow, Ceci. Charmed, I'm sure. Are you quite alright? Why, you look like you've seen a ghost. Despite my moniker, I assure you that Ellie and I are no spectres. But we are, mind you, are the last living scions of Sildin aristocracy. Bemused, are you? Befuddled to find two sisters behind the mask? Try using your brains once in a while. You know nothing, I'm sorry, wrong show. Every time you encountered the thief, Ellie was staring right in your midst. No, the thief that 4 times stole the show, and those priceless relics, that was me. Meanwhile, Ellie hid in plain sight, supplying me with the just knowledge I need to stay one step ahead of my pursuers, all the while spinning the hair-raising tales of my exploits that won the heart of this nation. We owe you a lot, truly. Why, without the tales of your hapless attempts to catch me, we could have never risen to these heights of celebrity.
Miss Ceci, from a gentleman to a lady, I would ask you one thing and one thing only. Just what is it that you and Miss Ellie hope to accomplish with all of your schemes?
Justice! 400 years ago, Uldan dogs reduced our great nation to a nation of zombies. At long last, the cowards that will still justify these foul deeds will suffer the same fate. Wait a minute. The histories say it was Sildir that turned their own men into zombies. The histories lie! And you work from the shadows, silencing those who would speak the truth. You should have died with your fellows, false arbiter. It was Uldar that ordered the creation of that dreadful powder. It was Uldar that wielded it as a weapon against our proud ancestors. The history of your glorious sultanate is built on a lie.
What is this madness you speak of, woman?
Not madness. Truth. The powder in my possession was stolen from the Uldan army 4 centuries ago by one of my ancestors. They say it was his final act of courage in the moments before his leg fell off and his rotten head dropped from his shoulders. This is the truth the histories don't tell. The truth that this doe-eyed sultan swan would kill to keep buried in the sands of Thanalan. But your time of reckoning is nigh. Oh yes, before long, you and everyone in this rotten nation will know firsthand the horrors that my ancestors knew. And just what do you mean by that? By the way, your laugh is rather weird. Oh, how the idiots lap up the stories. A mass crusader for justice. A dashing rebel waging battle against power and authority. Oh, if they only knew. But they'll see soon enough, when they're eating each other's brains and cooks on the street. In the last days before our proud nation was razed to the ground, a band of the final survivors stole a vast quantity of the powder from the Uldan vaults, hiding it away in secrecy with powerful magics. The sole means by which the vaults might be opened, by assembling 4 relics, secrets from Belladere. 4 relics once housed in the royal palace of Sildir before the Uldan dogs stole them and claimed them for their own. So, it dawns on you at last. Yes, even as we speak, Ellie makes for the vault, the 4 relics safely in hand. Just think, one day, you'll be able to tell your grandchildren that you were there when the zombie powder rained down on Uldar. No, wait, you'll all be dead. So fuck you!
I say, that's bloody preposterous.
But first, you, my dear, you won't even have the pleasure of looking on the last moments of your precious homeland. Let your flesh rot like all your rotten lies.
Oh no!
I think not, Miss Ceci. Nandato.
Hildibrand! You idiot! Just for once, could you not get in the bloody way?
Godbert Manderville. I can't even trust your sorry ass to look after him from one day.
Oh shit. I knew it! That presence watching over from the shadows. It was you, my dear wife. Oh, shit. Nutty. Roda!
Ahem. Am I to understand that you are Hildibrand's mother?
This is more like it, Aru. Hand to hand, spirit to spirit. It's enough to send our warriors post-racing. Prepare yourself, Sebiru! The time of our final confrontation is nigh! Nani! Massacre.
Do you have potato for brains, honey, you overstuffed buffoon? My beloved boy's been turned into a stinking corpse, if you haven't goddamn noticed. You, Sebby or something, was it? You handsome Spanish bandito lalafell? Hildy's told me all about your hijinks together. I'm damn pleased to meet ya, honey buns. My dear boy's always had a bit of a rebellious streak, but what can I say? I come on a bit too strong at times, if you know what I mean. But can you blame me? This time I thought I'd sit back and leave things to my sorry-ass husband over here, and look where that got me. You'll help me out, won't you handsome little lalafell?
Oh, si, senor. Anything you say. Por favor. Peacock!
Reunited with my dear boy for the first time in ages. And just look at him. He's green. Fortunately, there's still time to reverse the zombie curse, and I know just the remedy. A vial of holy water. The ingredients are simple. A tatter of oversold rags and a phial of twice distilled water. Sin God at the market stocks the former, and the latter you can procure from a trader by the name of O'Gast. Now hurry. Once the poison spreads through his veins, there ain't no antidote that's gonna save him.
In the meantime, I will search for the bumbler's bumbling assistant. With any luck, Miss Nashu is still alive. I'm walking here.
Oh my god, Aru! That's smart, Aru. Ye gods, Hildy. You are looking none too hearty yourself.
No thanks to you, you bumbling oaf. Now, are you going to accompany Sebby here and make yourself useful? Or do I have to reintroduce you to that bloody wall?
Of course, milady. Gilgamesh is at your service. Singot sundries, was it? Come now, Sebby. There is work to be done, Naru! Oh wait, I don't have a cigar.
Peacock! Mamma mia! Oversold rags, you say? I fear I have only a single tartar left in the stock, and it has already been spoken for.
But my good man, Naru, you must reconsider! My dear friend's life, and quite possibly my own as well, hangs in the balance!
I sympathize with your plight, my friend, but a man has to make a living. I have been promised a copious supply of a rare spaghetti and meatballs for these rags. Unless you can offer me the same, a no deal.
Oh no! And you expect us to be able to summon such a rarity out of nowhere at a moment's notice, Aru?
Well, look what we have here. If it isn't the Warrior of Light from the Colosseum. Funny who you meet at the markets.
Oh, gracias, senor.
As it happens, I just returned from my training. The slaying of 10 chimeras just happened to be my task for the day. If it's a chimera membrane that you seek, you're more than welcome to a share.
Oh, gracias, senor. My lady! You are far too kind.
Don't mention it. If it hadn't been for Inspector Hildibrand and Sebby here, I'd still be tag-teaming with that slimy Australian octopus and cheating my way to fame and fortune. I'm a woman who pays her debts. And that is it for my cameo. Goodbye.
Well, Thala, take me. If that wasn't the Wheel of the Tempest. Ever since she confessed to her trickery and started climbing back from the bottom of the ranks, I've been proud to call myself one of her biggest fans. Why, I have half a mind to give you the rags you seek simply for the privilege of meeting her at Mamma Mia.
A kind sentiment, my good man, Aru. But we are more than happy to uphold our side of the bargain, Aru. Aren't we, Sebby? And with this, our task here is done. Now, let us find this trader named Guest!
That blundering Manderville boy is on his last legs. You need something in mind to save him, don't you? Perhaps you can give me a good reason why I should care. Those goddamn Mandervilles are richer than the traders themselves, yet they have the audacity to haggle me down to the last gil for every purchase. If the family line ended today, I'd be a happier and wealthier man. Now, I believe the ballroom calls. Good day to you, and do pass along my condolences to the grieving parents.
Have you not a shred of honor or compassion in that spindly body? Business rival or no, the man is on death doorstep, Aru!
After the events of that day, my father would not so easily forgive and forget. But it matters not to me. No, my love for you is as deep as the 7 seas. I beg of you, milady, may I have this dance?
I do declare, Sebbywebz TV, what a lovely surprise. Are you here for the ball, perchance?
Oh, si, senor.
Heavens, the poor inspector.
Well, if it isn't the Lapis Maiden in the flesh. Now what say you bid farewell to preening fops and scruffy adventurers, and share a dance with a cultured gentleman befitting of your great beauty?
Why, it would be a pleasure and an honor both, my lord. Provided you first provide my good friend Sebby with a bottle of twice distilled water that he seeks.
What? But, I'm Jack Nicholson. What a weird predicament to find myself in. You know this man? Well, if that's the price that you had set, then so be it. Take it. It's barely worth its weight in gil anyway. Now, shall we, Miss Arabella?
I knew Hildy to be a worthy rival, but to think he was this beloved by so many. Clearly, this realm would deeply mourn his loss. Quickly, Sebby! Let us deliver these goods while there is still time to save him!
Well, how you doing, honey? I trust the two of you wouldn't dare come back empty-handed. Well, that's just brilliant. I'd take you over my muscle-headed half-wit of a husband any day. Now, stand back and let me show you some real Manderville home cooking. Take that, Thal, you bloody bugger, and guide my skillet. Well, that should stop its spread. Now it's up to Hildy to flush what's left of it out of his system. But don't you worry, he's my son after all. I reckon he's still got some fight left in him. I say, look who I found. She was slumbering obliviously in a rubbish-strewn corner of Pearl Lane.
And boy, did that nap feel good.
Yes, I'm sure it did. Sebby, word has it that Ellie has been sighted at the Sildian ruins. We must go there, with all haste. Si, senor. You've done well by my dear boy today. But don't you worry, I'll handle things from here. There's a nice warm bed for him, and I think I know a few specialists who might know a thing or two about his condition. Now what in the seven hells are you standing around for? The future of Ulda is at stake. You handsome honey buns.
Sebby, my strength is yours as well, Ru. For Ulda, for our friend Hildibrand!
You remind me of my husband. What were you having more muscles than sense? If you're so keen on making yourself useful, why don't you run to the markets and bring me some fire crystals? Keeping my dear boy warm is key to fighting off the zombification. Now let's see. I believe about 20 crates or so should suffice.
I am a warrior, not an yes, milady.
Run the way!
I say, Enkidoru, the burden we must bear simply to secure my long-awaited final confrontation with Sebbiru. That said, the events of today have given me cause to reflect. Sebby and Hildy, both. Oh, to be blessed with such veritable regions of friends, tried and true. But alas, not I. No. Only one true friend have I ever known, and she is long lost to me. Gawk! You are a fine bird! You have given me great comfort in my trouble, but you will never be Enkidu, my one and only true companion. Oh, my friend, were you here with me? Even Sebbiru could not stand against our combined might! Enkidu, wherever you may wander, hear my words! Return here to my side! Do you hear me? Enkidaru! Nani? What was that flash from the heaven, Oru? It nearly blinded me! And what? The crystal? Where have they gone, Oru?
Well, I fancy meeting you here, old friend.
That voice, could it be? My faithful companion? Why must you always make me wait so?
Well, what are you doing dilly-dallying around here? Let me jog your memory. There's a moonsick maid digging around at the SWb&x excavation site with her mind set on turning Ulda into a land of the walking dead. Your concern for Hildibrand is touching, but don't you worry. Mummy dearest isn't gonna let her beloved son kick the bucket that easily. You handsome little lalafell.
Oh gosh, we've managed to track down Miss Ellie just up ahead, while your friends watch over her as we speak. Yet no matter how many times we try to reach out to her, she refuses to so much as answer. Needless to say, we considered physically incapacitating her. But that crate she's sitting on isn't just a makeshift chair. It's filled to the brim with trader's spurn. One misstep, and the consequences, oh gosh, they could be dire indeed. You're our only hope, Sebby. Even in a single-minded rage, surely the time you spent together must still count for something. You need not put yourself in undue danger. I only ask that you step forth where your voice might be heard and call out your friend's name. I beg of you, Sebby. Surely, if anyone can convince the woman to abandon her madness, it's you.
With the chat in mode, say, use your keyboard or the software to call out Ellie and convince your erstwhile friend and companion to listen to reason. Bonjour, Sebby. I suggest you leave this place while you still can. I bear you no grudge, but should you so much as think of interfering, I will not hesitate to turn you into a zombie too. So it was you, after all. Consider me disappointed. Your sister Sassy is already in custody. Surrender now, and I will see that no harm befalls her. How little you understand us, Inspector. Then again, how could one born into a life of power and privilege ever hope to understand? Sassy and I have no family, no friends, no fortune, nothing. Two sisters against the world, with only our quest for justice to give us meaning. Long ago, we made a vow. Should the worst happen, our mission takes priority over all. We, over our own wretched lives. Do you see now? Anything I might once have had to lose, I lost long ago. Now stand down, or suffer the same fate as your damn dogs you would defend. Ellie, I say, stop this madness. I am sorry, Inspector.
Oh no!
There's too many of them.
All in a day's work for a Manderville man. It's hammering time! Sourdough! Muda, 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 muda!
Help! I'm walking here!
Soyo!
Hey, great work, Greg.
Brains!
You only delay the inevitable. I have an entire legion of the undead at my beck and call. Face it, it's only with Inspector Hildibrand's ridiculously good fortunes that you even made it this far. And here's as good as 6 rooms on there.
Be forewarned, girl. Know that I speak from experience when I say, underestimate Hildy. You do so at your own peril.
I'm afraid you underestimate me as well. No mere splash of holy water can stave off the effects of the traitor spawn. I fear that the good inspector's luck has finally run out.
Thou's balls. Is there no end to him? I'm not liking our chances. Greg, was it? Yes.
It is a shame to lose you, Sebby. Warrior of light that you are, you might yet have served one last purpose for us all. Go forth, my zombie minion! Sacre bleu! Nani?
When darkness falls, and hope fades to bloody despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. Well, I'll be fucked with a broadsword. Am my eyes to be Are my eyes to be believed? That pose? No. These are not 4 warriors of light that I see. They're the 4 bloody gentlemen of light. Gosh! Just so, my good man. For I, Hildibrand, Agent of Enquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return. Did you miss me?
Oi, we meet again, girl. Tell me you got my snurble tonic, or I'll fashion myself a wig from your lovely locks after I rip them clean from your bloody head.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Elazar. Coy, you're looking absolutely resplendent today.
Impossible! The holy water could not have cured him!
It didn't. Fortunately, our overlord spent quite some time building up an immunity to zombie powder. I'm Sean Connery. And when we heard that Master Zombie Brand was at risk of joining the actual bloody dead, we knew we had to take some fucking action. An immunity to... shit. I'm just going to pretend that makes any kind of sense.
The game is up, Miss Ellie. Pray, abandon this madness. Besides, plots of mass murder hardly suit a lady like yourself.
Oh, merde. It's over. It is all over. Inspector Briardien, you said there was something you would tell me when all was through. I imagine you have no words for me now.
Ellie, your powers of deduction are wanting. You said you had lost everything and everyone you had to lose, did you not? As for me, I found something, someone, with whom I intend never to part. I care not if it takes years, even decades. When you emerge from your jail cell, a free woman, I will be there. What say you?
That would be nice. Merci.
Miss Ellie, while the crimes perpetrated by you and your sister are unpardonable, you are far from the only ones guilty. On behalf of the Syndicate, I offer my apologies for the false aspersions cast upon your ancestors. You said the nation of Udar was built on lies. Seeing what I have seen today, I can't deny your words. It will not be an easy task to rewrite, nay, restore history. But know this, I'll do everything in my power to bring truth to the fore. Cup of coffee. Are we not forgetting someone here? And by someone, I mean me! If you are quite done praying Croak and Daggeru, I require Sebby's presence for a matter of far greater importance. The time of our too-long delayed confrontation is Nairu!
Oh, now, senor.
Why the wrong face, friend? Ah, but perhaps this will have you singing a happier tune.
Could it be? The treaty blade? And the true one at that!
None other. And I have not the slightest intention of parting with it, save to the one who defeat me in single combat. Ah, but I misspeak. It would not be single combat this time.
I have to sneeze. 1 second. I do declare, is that my cue, old friend?
Nani?
Raw?
Oh gosh, what is that abomination? Some new breed of void scent?
Abomination! I thank you to address my companion with courtesy, girl. Ah, 'twas the most curious thing. There I was, hoarding a crate full of crystals for Hildy's mother, thinking how much better things would be if my dear friend Enkidu was here. Then a flash came from the Heavenoru, and the next thing I knew, there she was-aru!
By the gods, it makes perfect sense. Doubtless the crystals heard Greg's heartfelt plea, summoning forth his friend, nay, no mere friend, but rather the primal Enkidu.
And the world has now completely and utterly ceased to be bound by the laws of logic.
Sebby, you may have bested me in the Pastoru, but facing the two of us together will be no easy task. And yet, I trust you will not shock from the Challengeru. Enkidu and I shall await you at Ampador Keep! Soyo! 'Tis away from here, but what better venue for our climactic confrontation? If you would claim the treaty blade, then claim it from me as a warrior. To the skies, Enkidu! To the Skyru!
Two against one? That's not very gentlemanly of you, Greg. Come, Sebby, to Ampador.
This is a grave development indeed. To think that one man could summon a primal on his own. I must send word to the Scions at once.
Gracias, senor, for I am Spanish.
Oh, but of course. I'd nearly forgotten we had a warrior of light in our very midst. Please, Sebby, you're our only hope to slay the primal and reclaim the blade.
Si.
Ahem. Is that you, Sebby? Pray, forgive me. I was right on Greg's trail when I encountered a subterranean curiosity that demanded my immediate attention. I will be concluding my investigation forthwith, but in the meantime, might I trouble you to entertain Greg and his primal fiend in my stead? Together we will reclaim the treaty blade from that knave, Sebby. Ah, yes. Just go on ahead. I'll be along directly.
At long last, we meet on the battlefield. Again, Naru! This time, with Enkidu. You will not enjoy this fight this time, unless you enjoy getting pounded a Censorus. Fire!
Right. Are you ready, kids? I can't hear you!
Let's go.
Gomu Gomu no! Riddle, fire, perfect balance, shoulder tackle! Oh shit! I'm a chicken! Help! Help! Peacock! 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 Peacock!
Run away? Oh, I was seeking out a more suitable spot for my victory. But enough exposition! What is this? A realm reborn? Let us fight like men! Transmog time!
Oh, fuck yeah! This is the real Gilgamesh. Fucking 8 arms, baby.
The mightiest warrior to ever grace Eorzea. Gilgamesh! Prepare yourself! To think my full complement of arms would avail me nothing-a-roo!
Yo!
No more hijinks from Gilgamesh. You have my word. You shall have the treaty bread as soon as I remember where I hid it. Oh! Anyway, I yield to your unparalleled puissance.
Gracias, señor.
Peacock, I'm a chicken, Peacock.
Oh! I ride like a rug! You must be Mr. Stupid! You can take that fusty old braid. I thirst for true power. Oh! You have proven a worthy opponent, but I warn you, treasure every moment with your weaponry.
Peacock, I'm a chicken, Peacock.
For as sure as the day follows the night, the hour will come when I claim it as my own. Till we meet again, Naru!
Peacock. What ho, Sebby? Have you seen Greg and his oversized avian companion? Lead them to me at once, and we shall deliver the coup de grace together. The battle has already been won? Well, that is triumphant news indeed. Clearly, the lessons you have learned from me have not been for naught. And what's this you say? The treaty blade lies hidden somewhere in the nearby wood? Worry not, my ever-loyal associate, for no buried treasure will ever escape the keen eye of Hildibrand, agent of enquiry and inspector extraordinaire. Now, which way was the forest again?
Sebby! Oh gosh, what news of the Primal and the Treaty Blade? Remarkable! I knew the Warrior of Light would emerge triumphant. Let us hope that Inspector Hildibrand enjoys similar success in finding the blade.
Such design, such craftsmanship, at once bold and powerful, yet sensitive and refined. I believe I found inspiration for my next cup of coffee in the big time.
Of course they are beautiful. They were the greatest treasures of lost Sudir. To think they were locked away in the vaults of those who destroyed our homeland and dragged our ancestors' names through the mud.
And just how did you come to know these long-lost relics?
There was an ancient scroll, passed down in our family, left to us by our dear grandmother. It spoke of the 4 warriors of light, their 4 relics, and an incantation of untold power. If we could have wielded this magic of legend, Ellie and I might still have had the last laugh.
Alas, speaking the words had no effect. Only a true warrior of light can wield the power, or so the legend goes. Ah, what I would not have given to see it, the ultimate achievement of the greatest measures this realm has ever known.
And just what sort of an incantation is this?
The ring casts open the doors of justice. The wise man whispers a verdict true. Azima's virtue shines down from the heavens. To complete the incantation, the warrior of light would then hold forth the treaty blade and speak, "Blade in hand, I swear unto you." The legends differ as to what happens next, but all speak of a great holy radiance shining down from the heavens.
Hey, that sounds great! Over here, friends! Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, returns with tidings most triumphant. Ta-da! Behold, safe in my hands, none other than the treaty blade. And the real one this time, I swear unto you.
Oui, just like that, I swear unto you, and then... Qu'est-ce que c'est?
My word, whatever is this odd tingling sensation?
Ridiculous! Hildibrand is not a warrior of light. He's just some fool who thought he could stop the lesser moon with his own bare hands.
It would seem the treaty blade is just as confused as the rest of us.
No, that light. Someone stop it! I won't stand to see the legendary power of our forefathers wielded by this muscle-bound buffoon!
Nandato? Oh my god! Skyward ho!
Okay. Well, I dare say that proved to be a most useful incantation indeed. And so, the justice of light that shone from the treaty blade banishes shadow, returning peace to the land. So the legend ended. I must say, I never expected it to be quite literally a beam of light. I suppose it would not have been much use to us after all.
Hey, Inspector! Wait for me! I'm working here!
Well, fowls balls, Hildy. First you almost died at your poor mother's feet, and now you fly off to God's nowhere without even giving your mom a kiss goodbye. Well, howdy doody.
Oh! It appears that a case of wanderlust has once again struck Hildibrand, as it has many a Manderville man before him. Godspeed, my boy. When the day comes that you tire of our mystery solving, your dear old man will be here to pass on to you a cup of coffee in the big time.
So, in the end, the sealed-in incantation of legend was wielded not by a warrior of light, but a gentleman of light.
Well, that treaty blade is some 6 centuries old after all. Perhaps it's not quite as sharp as it used to be. The magic that brought peace and happiness to the people of Belladir. It was every bit as beautiful as I imagined. To think I would see it with my own eyes. It is nothing short of a dream come true.
He bumbles and shambles through yet another case, and still he manages to make a girl's dream come true. A gentleman to the end.
That bloody bastard. Oh my god! What's this? A glint in the corner of my eye? A curious scent wafting in from the winds of a far-flung land? Do I smell a case? Worry not, my friends. Wherever the wronged want for succor, I, Hildibrand, shall be there. Until we meet again. Hildibrand will return?